Earth's fierce retaliation leaves the Galactic Council. Speechless. The crystalline halls of the Galactic Council had never witnessed such silence. Ambassador Zeftai of the Hegemony shifted nervously on his floating platform, his 6 eyes darting between the emergency session displays that showed the impossible readings from the Sol system. Around him, representatives from 47 species sat in stunned disbelief, their various forms of communication, telepathic whispers, bioluminescent, flashes, harmonic vibrations, all reduced to nothing. It had been exactly 72 standard hours since the Council had issued the final ultimatum to Earth. The humans, those primitive bipedal creatures who had barely mastered faster-than-light travel, were given a simple choice: submit to Galactic, law and surrender their independence, or face the consequences of defying civilizations that had ruled the stars for millennia. The humans had chosen defiance. Council Military Commander Vexara, a towering insectoid whose species had conquered 3 galaxies, activated the holographic display with a trembling appendage. "The Third Fleet," she began, her voice crackling through the universal translators, consisting of 12 dreadnoughts, 48 battlecruisers, and over 300 support vessels, "is gone." The statement hung in the air like a toxic cloud. The Third Fleet had been the Council's most formidable force, equipped with quantum disruptors and planetary siege weapons that could crack worlds in half. They had been sent to Earth as a show of overwhelming force, expecting the humans to capitulate at the first sight of their armada. "Gone how?" demanded Chancellor Mordun of the Silicon Confederacy, his crystalline form pulsing with agitated light. Commander Vexara's mandibles clicked nervously. "The fleet encountered what appeared to be a small defensive force near Jupiter's orbit. Initial scans detected primitive kinetic weapons and basic energy shields. Our tactical computers calculated a 99.97% probability of victory within the first engagement cycle." She paused, her compound eyes reflecting the horror of the data. "The entire fleet was neutralized in 17 minutes. Gasps, hisses, and electromagnetic pulses of shock rippled through the assembly. "That's impossible," whispered Ambassador Thren of the Psionic Dominion. "No species advances that quickly. The humans were still fighting with chemical propulsion and atomic weapons just centuries ago." The hologram shifted, showing tactical recordings from the doomed fleet. What the Council members saw defied every principle of galactic warfare they had learned over millions of years. The human ships were indeed smaller, but they moved with an unpredictability that seemed to anticipate every tactical maneuver. Their weapons weren't just advanced, they were revolutionary. "Analysis suggests," Vexara continued, her voice barely audible, "that the humans weaponized their own quantum research. They deployed what our scientists are calling reality anchors, devices that lock space-time in specific configurations, preventing faster-than-light escapes or quantum phase shifts." But the true horror came with the next revelation. "The humans didn't just destroy our fleet," she said, activating another display. "They captured our technology and reverse-engineered it during the battle. Our own quantum disruptors were turned against us within minutes of engagement." Elder Kothrun of the Ancient Assembly, a being so old that his species had forgotten their own origins, leaned forward on his mobility platform. "This cannot be mere technological advancement. What manner of beings are these humans?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Elena Vasquez, Earth's first and only ambassador to the Galactic Council, had been present during the emergency session as per diplomatic protocol. She had remained silent throughout the proceedings, watching. The alien representatives struggled to comprehend what had transpired. Now she stood, her simple environmental suit a stark contrast to the exotic technologies surrounding her. "You wanted to understand humanity," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the translation matrix. "You studied our biology, our technology, our social structures. But you missed the most important aspect of who we are. The chamber fell silent again. Every sensor and sensory organ focused on the lone human. We are a species that learned to survive on a death world, Elena continued. For millions of years, everything on our planet tried to kill us. Predators, diseases, natural disasters, even our own atmosphere. We didn't just survive, we thrived. We turned every challenge into an opportunity, every enemy into a teacher. She walked to the center of the chamber, her boots echoing in the vast space. You sent a fleet to intimidate us, expecting us to cower before superior technology. But you forgot that humanity has never responded to threats with submission. We study, we adapt, we overcome. In the 17 minutes it took you to realize your mistake, we had already learned everything your weapons could teach us. Ambassador Zeftai found his voice. But your species is barely spacefaring. How could you possibly— Because when humanity is threatened, Elena interrupted, we don't fight as individuals or even as nations. We fight as a species. Every human mind, every research facility, every manufacturing center on Earth and our colonies became focused on a single goal: survival. The holographic displays shifted again, showing Earth's response to the ultimatum. In 72 hours, the planet had transformed itself into something the Council had never seen, a unified war machine that bent the laws of physics to its will. Your Council made one critical error, Elena said, her words cutting through the silence like a blade. You assumed that a young species would be weak. You forgot that the youngest predators are often the most dangerous because they still remember how to be hungry. The chamber remained silent for long moments. Finally, Elder Kothran spoke. What? What do the humans want? Elena smiled, and somehow that simple human expression was more terrifying than any weapon they had witnessed. What we've always wanted, she replied. To be left alone to explore, to learn, to grow. But now we also want assurance that no one will ever threaten our home again. The silence stretched on as the Council members realized that the balance of galactic power had shifted in less than a week. Humanity hadn't just defended itself. It had announced its arrival on the cosmic stage in the most unmistakable way possible. The age of human expansion had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same.